Get ready and strap in for the One Love HTX show, where all our conversations are always raw, unfiltered, and never staged. We can also be found on Instagram, all major streaming platforms, and westcliff.org. Check us out at onelovehtx.org for more info or ways to support the show. Now get ready to dive into conversations you won't always have in church with your hosts, Joshua Duffy and Daniel Salsi.
Amen. I think that's on the recording now. Totally forgot. I'm so out of...
It's fine. We're here with a little guitar intro. It's been such a
What
long time.
up?
Oh my gosh. We are back in the studio. It has been a long time. We've been doing a lot of pre-recordings and guest appearances and things, and I'm just happy to be here at the end of the year, the end of season 4. We have 2 more episodes, this one and another one, and I get Duffy back with me.
We're live and alive.
Yeah, heck yeah!
So update on 2 fronts.
We are here. I'm so thankful. Yeah, so feels good to be live again. Feels good to be alive.
Wow. Shout out POD.
Shout out. So,
Sonny Sandoval.
you are in the house with Westcliff, Climb, Pilgrim Church of Houston,
Hey-o.
Joshua Duffy, the pastor, the legend, the man.
Wow, that's...
Yeah.
You stopped describing me like 2 adjectives ago, but that's all right.
Daniel, we are One Love HTX also, and Whosoever's HTX. We're just a whole hodgepodge of stuff, having a good time, and I'm still baffled. 4 seasons into this, it started with a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Because a mutual friend set us up. That sounded weird.
Run it back. We can always edit it later.
Yeah. A mutual friend said, "You guys have to meet. You guys are just so."
It's
on
not
the
getting
same
better.
page."
It's
Yeah,
not.
Okay, he said, "You guys have something in common with Bridehead Welch."
Oh, okay. Good. And it's been saved.
Yeah, we had coffee. We were talking, and Duffy posed the whole 50th, 60th time that I heard it. Maybe you should do a podcast. And 4 seasons later, this has been a blast. And it's still going.
Still going.
I hope to have many, many years to come. We are in 68 countries now.
Oh,
We still don't know.
68?
68.
I can't list 68 countries.
I don't either. I know, again, the top, obviously, the U.S., then Germany is in there.
Yeah.
Finland.
Finland?
Finland. There's just some weird ones that I'm like, who are these
Shout
people?
out Finland.
Yeah. Did the Finnish, right?
Can they? I mean, listen, we don't need like care packages and stuff, but like, well, I mean, in a way, we'd like one. Can we just get a letter from Finland? Anyone?
Yeah.
And don't write it in English. We want it.
Yeah.
We want the real juice.
In the Finnish, right? Is that Finnish? Is it Finnish?
I know so little about that sounds good to me. Like, I really don't know. That's why I'm intrigued. Finland, who else?
Oh, gosh. Russian Federation, Bolivia. I mean,
We got Russia?
Russia.
That's what I'm... Wow.
Yeah. So, and I even think there's... Where's the other place? Next to Russia, the wars. Why am I drawing a blank?
Ukraine.
We got Ukraine in there, too.
Wow,
There's all kinds of stuff. So
this is wild.
We don't know who you are, but we're so thankful for you.
And we dig it.
And we hope that one day someone besides our friends in Arizona and California reach out to us with someone else in another country. Just send us a message. Yeah, just I don't know, an Instagram or something.
Yeah.
Something, just tell us what's up and why in the world you listen to us.
We really want to know.
Yeah. Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah. Holy cow. That's awesome.
It's great. All right. So we are back. Last 2 episodes of the season. This one is entitled The Ministry of Interruption. And my wife actually came up with that last night as we were talking about this. She's like, what's the podcast going to be about? And I said, well, I can tell you, but I can't tell Duffy.
There it is.
So when I explained it to her, she's like, oh my gosh, it's the Ministry of Interruption, Daniel. And I'm like, that is a great title. So here we go. I got to start with a story, almost as usual, right? And it's funny because you and so many people I hear love the stories that happen just out in the wild.
Yeah, your life's not real.
It's weird. It's really weird. So one of the things, and you heard this before, we heard the camping story of the fish, right?
Yeah.
So we had our end of year planning meeting with my business partner and brother, Justin Flanagan, who I actually had on the podcast while you were away, and kind of talked about an update and everything. So everyone got to meet Justin Flanagan. But we go camping. We try at least once a quarter, and that's what I say. And then he points it out that we went 8 times last year, or this year. So twice a quarter, whenever we can.
I love it.
But it was funny because we were talking about just life. And I don't know how the story came up, but he had mentioned that he was talking to a friend, and a friend's like, if you're still breathing, if you are still here on this earth, there is a reason, and you better believe that. And you better be talking to God about that, because there's just always something going on. And we just kind of laughed about that, right? And so one of the big things we love doing, not only working, I mean, we do. We plan.
Yeah.
We get our work done.
It happens somewhere in there.
Yeah. But we love cornhole. If you've ever played, have you played cornhole?
I have.
Okay. I love cornhole. And these places that we go camp have their own cornhole areas, and they're incredible. They're like concrete cornhole. Yeah. So not concrete bags, but concrete cornhole boards. So we would always walk over and plan it and everything. And finally we decided, we're like, why are we doing that? Why don't we just get some portable, foldable cornhole boards and just have it at our campsite so we can play anytime? We don't have to plan this. So now versus one game, we're getting 3 to 4 games in a day. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, he's always beating me. So it's just what it is. But here we are, camping, having a good time. It had dropped to like 38. We woke up. It was freezing cold. We're trying to get through the day. The sun's barely peeking out. And I said, you know what? Let's get warmed up, because it doesn't matter. For some reason, cornhole brings a sweat. It breaks a major sweat with us. It shouldn't. It's not basketball, right?
It's not.
Yeah, but I am breaking a sweat every single time. So I'm like, let's get warmed up and play some cornhole, baby.
Why?
We
Why
are into
you
it.
Sweating?
I don't know.
Cornhole.
We are so into it. Like, I am throwing these
Are you
things.
sprinting back and forth to get the bags?
Yeah, I'm throwing my body.
There it is. So it's wind sprints.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Heck yeah. So we're into this game, and we had noticed this guy fishing.
There's always a guy. There's always a guy with what? I wasn't gonna say anything, but since it's interruption, I'm like, no doubt. I was already thinking,
there's a guy.
Where's he going? There's gonna be a rando out in this story coming any second. He's gonna be middle of doing.
Yep.
Okay. Here we go.
Oh, well, let me back up just a little bit, because this is even better. So the night before this, because we had just gotten there, we had set up our campsite. We knew it was getting cold. It was supposed to be 30. They said snow flurries. That's what we were expecting.
Wow.
So we had the campfire roaring, and nobody was beside us. This one guy pulls in at the last minute, and I'm like, oh, there goes our site. He's on top of us practically with his RV, and he gets settled in. He didn't talk to us. He just, got his stuff done. He was so close to us, he could have said hi, and probably we should have. But anyways, as we sat there and he got settled in, all we kept hearing was some massive disruption inside this RV. Like, it was cursing and craziness, and so we were just like,
whoa,
we're going to let it go. TV was blaring all night long, and we're like, let's just get the campfire going and let's just enjoy it. Great night. Next morning, here we are back at the cornhole site. We got to get warmed up. We look out at that morning. We're probably up about 6 or 7, getting our coffee going. There was already a guy fishing. I mean, bright and early. He's fishing out there, and he's in it. He's having a good time. I don't see any fish happening, but he's having a good time. So by this time, it's probably 8-ish. Yeah. So we've moved away from the campfire,
which is completely dark.
Yeah. no, 8-ish in the morning.
Oh.
Yeah, we.
That's right. Okay, sorry, I'm tracking.
Yeah. We're next morning making coffee, and it's 8-ish, but it's still cold. The sun's not coming out. We're still in that 38-ish degree temperature. Probably get up to the 40s, and I was like, we got to get warm. So here we are watching this guy fish. I'm like, that's probably bright and early, and we're playing this cornhole back and forth, and all of a sudden, my buddy goes, "Does that guy have a fish?" And I look up, and I look out to the boat, and there's nobody in the boat. He's in the water. And my business partner, without his glasses, he sees a fish. And I see the universal sign of the Y of the arms, trying to get himself up. And I'm like, he's off the boat. He fell in, Justin. Now, keep in mind, it's been a constant cold, and we have dropped to 38 degrees. That water's cold. And I think we even checked the temperature of it later on. It's 51 degrees or something like that. That's a good cold plunge, right?
This story.
Yeah, he's in the water, and I said, Justin, he is in the water, and he's drowning. He can't get out. And he's trying to get up to the boat, and I keep seeing him grab onto the side of the boat, and then he'll slip, and he'll go under. And I said, he is drowning. And he said, no. And I said, yes. So we both have ADD, and there's actually scientific proof that ADD, I hate using this word, but they said it, ADD are usually the hero people because they don't think, they just act, and then afterwards they're like, what the heck was I doing?
Yeah.
So we are both throwing things out of our pockets, and we're running down a hill that then meets rock, very unstable rock. We have to get past the rock and then get down to the bank, and we start heading over the water. And he has gone under several times already. He can't get up. And I start looking at it, and I promise you, this is the honest to God truth. I knew that water was cold, and it didn't bother me. And I hear people screaming, call 911, call 911. I'm like, we don't have phones. Like, we're done. And we're yelling back at them, you call 911. Because everyone's like panicking now because they hear us running and they hear us screaming. And I get to that water and I look out there, and I promise you, the Lord said, Daniel, if you get in that water, you've never been a good swimmer. It is cold. You have thermals on, jeans, a pair of Vans, 3 shirts, and a sweatshirt. You're going to drown. I swear I heard that. My business partner says I'm lying, but but I was about to go in, and I look over, and he looks at me, and he's in. And he tells me later, he goes, I saw you. You weren't taking off your shoes fully. And he got in this water, and it was a total body shrivel. I know it was, because he's kind of screaming and getting into it. And by that time, I said, I don't think he's moving anymore. His head kind of
How far out again?
He was about 70 yards.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So it was rock. My buddy was able to walk the majority of it till it got up to his chest, and then it just dropped, and he had to swim. And then all of a sudden I see the guy moving again, and I'm like, oh, thank God. And I'm praying. I'm like, Lord, please don't let this man drown. And then all of a sudden he's kind of flailing again, and I said, get to the front of the boat, grab the trolling motor, hold on to the trolling motor. And because he was pretty close. He had floated kind of that way a little bit. So thank God. So he grabbed the trolling motor to hold himself. And my business partner was able to get there to the boat. He starts getting behind the boat to paddle and push it. I don't know what he was thinking. It was kind of moving.
Okay.
But he's trying to move it to the shore. And then he said, I can't do this. So he gets on top of the boat. They end up talking. He's holding on for his dear life on the trolling motor. And the guy tells him, let me tell you how to use a trolling motor. I'm just going to hold it from afar, and maybe you can steer it to the front. So long story long, he ends up getting the trolling motor going and bringing it in close enough where the guy could stand. And it was crazy. Like everyone by this time is on the bank.
Wow.
They're calling the park rangers. They're calling for hypothermia suits and all kinds of stuff and crazy. I said, hypothermia stuff's coming. Don't worry about it. Guys are bringing down blankets, and I'm just like, wow, we almost witnessed a death. Like, this was crazy. I did not want to see that day. And then we get there. The guy, he was a big boy. He was not a little man. He was able to pull himself to the boat because he got shallow enough, and he kind of rolled back onto the boat, sopping wet. He had full on jacket, hoodie, the whole bit. So he was bogged down with water. My buddy helped him up, and the guy's yelling from the shore. I've got blankets up here. I got anything, and he yells back, "I'm good. I'm probably still going to fish a little bit."
What?
So my buddy goes, "What's your name?" He said, "Ron." And he said, "Ron, I really think you should rethink this." He goes, "No," I think he was in shock. I think the guy almost died. It had my business partner that got out there, and I not seen the trolling motor, and because he was kind of everywhere in the water.
Yeah.
And you don't think, you think about those things like, "Oh, I would have. Oh, I would have." No, you're drowning. You're not thinking clearly. So we were just thankful that we were there, and the guy ends up resting there for a while, and he said, "No, I'm going back." So he ended up going back, got dried up and everything, and but refused any bit of service after that. And my buddy finally gets back to the shore. He's sopping wet. He's freezing cold. He gets dried up, and we just have this conversation, and we're like, "This is crazy." This is one of those moments, again, if you're still here breathing, and that ran through my mind, God will use you. He doesn't need us, right? We've said that over and over again. But
May I interrupt you?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
While you're having this deep discussion about God and life, like, as I'm envisioning it, in the background, is Ron fishing again?
No.
Okay.
Ron did decide to go back. Yeah, he did decide. He said, I think I am done. But he did lose his pole, and it was floating for a while. My buddy said while he was out there, he saw the pole about 30 yards this way, and for a split second thought, maybe I should get that pole.
This is wild.
And he said, no, I need to stay on track. So he ended up rescuing Ron, but he did ask, has anyone seen my pole? And he found it. We saw him out there for a little bit.
Wow. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, that was good. So yeah, no, he ended up leaving. We found out later because we saw him the next couple of days. We actually, it's a whole other thing. We buy firewood from this guy in town. It's only a town of like 1,800 people or maybe 1,300 people. And we asked the guy, "Hey, do you know this guy, Ron?" And he said his last name, and he goes, "Oh yeah." And we go, "Can you do us a favor? Would you mind checking in with him and seeing if he's okay?" And sure enough, he said he was fine, and he was very thankful. And then on our last day camping, we saw him again fishing. This time he had someone with him, thank God.
Oh, wow.
We were like, wear a life vest or have a friend with you. So, but he was very, very thankful. But
wow,
again, it's one of those things. It's like, I thought it was so neat. We both thought it was so neat because here we are. We typically, like I said, always go play cornhole someplace else. And this particular time, I had told my business partner, we should just bring our own. Had we not been there, I don't know what would have happened. I mean, because it was funny, because all the other people told us, we didn't realize what was happening. One guy said, "I was coming back from the shower, and I looked over and I thought, wow, he's got a big catfish." And I kept walking. He goes, "I didn't turn back around until I heard y'all screaming." And I'm like, everyone's blind at this campsite. So thank God we were there. I'm not the hero. Jesus is the hero. And I yelled that to Ron. I said, "Ron, Jesus had you today." And he said, "Yes, he did. Yes, he did." So just crazy, crazy cool stuff. Again, it's like, and that's what my wife said, that this is the ministry of interruption. This is the life you lead. Your ministry is just living life and letting God interrupt it where he wants to, if you're open to it.
Yeah.
And he seems to be open to it a lot, or we seem to be open to it a lot and just have fun with it. So that's one. And then two, I know, it's fun. So then we're back to this other guy. We're here for, it was Monday through Thursday. And each night we kept hearing ruckus in the RV next door and all kinds of stuff. And something told me, Lord, I felt it in my spirit. Like, you're going to talk to this man. And, but he wasn't having anything to do with us. The guy who was next door being kind of loud and everything. So, it was the last day the last night. He had left early morning and then came back, and we were cooking our last meal. And we don't do this like lightly. Like, we've got a full on, boudin shrimp, cheese stuffed pork loin wrapped in bacon, on the grill, cooking. I know this is our camping, right?
Wow.
We got that going. We've got jalapeno quail poppers on the other little cook stove.
Of course you do.
Yeah. I mean, we are doing it up, and then a strawberry mixed salad with feta and balsamic vinegar and all this. It's just wonderful. So all of a sudden, this guy pulls back up, and we haven't seen him for a while. And I look over, we locked eyes, and I said, "Hi," and he kind of looked stunned, and he said, "Hi," and I go, "I'm Daniel," and he said, "I'm Mark," and I said, "Mark, are you hungry?" And he said, "I could be." I said, "Well, I'd love to bring you some dinner tonight if you're open to it." And he goes, "I would never turn that down." And so I said, "All right, well, you go relax, kick back, and we've got plenty of food. I'm going to bring you some over." So I ended up bringing him over some of everything. And he said, "This is going to be better than all the canned food I usually eat." And again, it's that moment you're like, that's the reason you put a check in me. And it was almost a prompting of, say something to this dude. Just don't let him go back in there. Don't complain about him being loud in the middle of the night. Just something's going on. And so we ended up talking. He had been through a lot. He said he lost the best job ever he's ever had at, I think it was like Boeing or something like that. He has dealt with a massive, like severe case of sleep apnea, which also caused insomnia, which also caused issues after that. And he couldn't hold a job anymore and ended up living with his sister for a while and ended up losing his house. And then by 2009 is when he lost his house and decided to go full-time RVing. And he loves taking pictures of nature. So he was able to put his Social Security in place, and he had this little rundown camper and living out of it and going from park to park, living off of his Social Security and canned food and taking pictures.
And then what's with the ruckus part? Did you find out?
I think that is part of the insomnia and mental health that's going on.
Got it.
Yeah. So that's just like, okay. So we were able to love on this guy and just chat with him. And it's one of those moments, you know, when the conversation gets started, they don't want to stop.
Yeah.
And we're probably the first person in who knows how long that he's actually had a conversation with. Maybe
Right.
he's having a conversation with himself in there. I don't know.
Wow.
But we just had and he's able to tell us a story. And then I said to him, I said, "You know what, Mark. I said, after everything you told me, I said, before I left this conversation, I wanted to ask you how we could pray for you." And I said, "But I think I already heard it," because he also said, "I'm trying to get this RV fixed and, you know, it's just kind of falling apart, but I'm keeping it put together and everything." I said, "Well, I'm going to be praying that one, somehow you get blessed beyond belief with a crazy RV or something, or you get everything you need to make this thing as healthy as it needs to be." And he looked at me and he said, "Thank you." He goes, "I have a friend in Fort Worth who's a pastor, and she prays for me all the time. So now I have two."
Wild, man.
One of those moments, and you're just like, Lord, do what you do. I don't know if I'll ever see Mark again. I don't know if I'll ever see Ron again. But that is, to me, is just quintessential of what we truly should be, what we are here for.
Yeah.
You know, yes, we have things. Yes, you're a pastor. Yes, you have
your
things.
Yeah.
But how many times, especially, and that's going into this holiday season. Here we are, just around the corner. Next week is Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
We've been counting down in our house
Yeah.
with children for 300 days. So
What are we, 8?
we ask Alexa. We're like, when is Christmas? It is 318 days away. We've been doing this.
You've been doing this for a long time.
Well, I haven't. I am in the room as it's being requested. That and when is my birthday?
You're a Christmas junkie. You're a Christmas junkie. You're doing the same thing.
I hung up a ton of lights, but that's not the point of where we're going today. We can talk about that one next. So I think what is cool about what you're touching on is how much of the Gospels, how much of the biblical narrative is sort of in line with like that whole interruption type thing, you know? Peter's fishing, minding his own business. Now he's not drowning, but he is fishing. He's kind of got his own.
Soon to be almost.
Yeah, he's got it. That ironically does come later. But you know, like that's Jesus in calling the disciples. Part of the interruption was that none of them were, you know, they were subpar.
Right.
They weren't in that line of work or vocation. They didn't show that kind of acumen or that ability. And so to have someone go, yeah, I want you to follow me. That's not even how that system would have worked. Normally you ask the rabbi if you can follow him. That's how that was 2,000 years ago. So even just collecting the disciples, there's that interruption. There's the interruption with Paul. He's going about his life. He's going to blow up the church as far as he's concerned. He's zealous about it. And God quite literally interrupts his day. You know, and you think about how often Jesus' ministry is based on these hard left turns that throw off the entire room. The woman who breaks open this expensive perfume that's easily the equivalent of an entire year's worth of wages, while he's got, you know, people in there that aren't necessarily his biggest fan and are finding this to be entirely inappropriate, completely intrusive to what's happening. They're trying to have, you know, these deeper conversations, and all of a sudden there's this epic moment that Jesus is dealing with. You know, and one of my favorite personally is, hey, shout out Puerto Rico.
All right, we got
someone to talk to us.
The Ministry of Interruption.
That's the first time ever. Thank you for interrupting me. I love it. Hey, Puerto Rico.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Israel, 6815, you demand. Thank you.
We see it. That's awesome.
I love it.
That's awesome.
We've never looked at that.
No.
We need to look at this more often.
And you're about to click on it. I'm like, this is going to kill it. Just be ready. It's going to go off. But then, so for all of our ADD people, you're going to love the fact that we just bounced all over the place. Those of you that are process-oriented, you're about to log out. But hang in there. I'm going somewhere.
You're a hero.
Yeah, you know, so like you think about Jesus, like one of the cool things about that whole let the little children come to me is the context is they're having theological adult conversation.
Yeah.
And here come these little kids. And everyone's like, no, you know, they're lower status in society. Keep them out. And Jesus said, no. Let the little children come to me. So I think what's cool about what you're touching on is honestly, that's one of the really, really cool aspects of even Jesus' own ministry is teaching within these moments that are kind of seem like they're blown up and they catch everyone else off guard. And it reveals in a weird way that a lot of the people he's surrounded by in those moments have an agenda different than learning from Jesus or spending time in the present with Jesus. They're annoyed by these interruptions, and yet Jesus ministers to these people beautifully. And you can go even in the Old Testament, you know, King David is not King David. He's just the runt of the litter. He's there to bring food up to his brothers and everybody else. And while he's there, he hears this giant dude on the other side of the battle lines mocking his God, his way of life, his culture, everything about him. And he takes exception to it. And just like how you guys did, it wasn't a planned thing. David's like, you know what? I'm here. Time to roll. You know, it wasn't like some great preparation moment. And so I think that's very, very cool. That's kind of what, you know, what you experienced and what you're experiencing, I think is very much in line. And when we think about the Christmas story, you know, there's no doubt there was a lot foretold about it and what it would be and what it would mean. But, you know, to most of the world at that time, that's an epic interruption.
Yeah.
I mean, if, you know, okay, the Magi and these other, you know, others that were extremely well read, they knew the prophecies. It wasn't as much of, maybe you could argue, an interruption to them, but most of the planet, wait, what's going on?
Right.
I mean, that's the greatest interruption in the history of civilization is Jesus breaking into this world and, you know, Mary and Joseph, oh, you're going to have to leave everything and go get taxed. That's not convenient. That's kind of blown up out of the blue. And not to mention, hey Mary, you're pregnant with God.
Yeah.
So I think what's cool is if you look at the whole of Scripture, there's kind of an interesting thread there throughout all of it of God hitting people out of left field. And I think it's cool how you ministered that way. And I think there's cool connections to that theme and Advent, the Christmas story, this Christmas time of year, and God interrupting human history is pretty cool. So
that's cool. I love that. Man. I love how you rounded that out. It is definitely the greatest interruption of all time.
Of all time.
If we can't miss that. And it's just like we've always been taught, right? Jesus is the perfect model, the example that we should be following. And you probably laugh at this, but I know my in-laws did. I am not a traditional person, right? So,
oh, you're not?
No. You know where I found, again, this is the laugh, where I found the final connection to really bring me home to start looking at who God is relationally was not, what is that movie, the Passion or anything like that. It was Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jesus Christ Superstar. That was the one, and people kept saying, oh, it's blasphemy, it's this and that. And I said, listen, this got my attention. And whether it was meant for blasphemy or not, God did something with it. And it affected me. And I was able to look at that. And what I saw when have you ever seen Jesus Christ Superstar?
I have not.
Oh, okay. Oh, boy. Okay. It's nothing like Rocky Horror Picture Show. Okay. That would be a complete debauchery. But it's a musical, and it's kind of this, it's a weird twist on things. Like, if we're trying to even slightly understand what Jesus was doing, there's this man, processing through it. And so one part of it was like when Jesus was walking along the roads and all the lepers came out to get healed. In Andrew Lloyd's version, Jesus was overwhelmed and he was going, stop, get away, and he's singing his stuff, but then he begins to heal. Now, again, Jesus probably didn't do that. He probably didn't. He welcomed it and he did what he did. But they put this twist of, if it were you, let me tell you how annoyed you would have been. If this were you, there's no way, and that's what I saw, there's no way any of us could have ever accomplished what Jesus accomplished and how he did it. And so it was beautiful. That's what got me to go, you know what? This Jesus is not the Jesus that I've just read stories about and felt things on the board or whatever. It really touched my heart. And I know that, again, that might sound funny, but it caught my attention.
Well, when you talk about the motive of Jesus, okay, he feeds 5,000 people, heads to the other side, they follow him, but he knows their motive.
Right.
And their motive, and he flat out says it in John, you're just here because you're hungry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's why you're here. You followed me from one side to the other, not because you're digging the message, but
that's the human side.
You just want your next meal.
Yeah, that's the human side. And Jesus, he saw something totally different.
Yeah.
Go gather the food. What do you have? 5 loaves and 5 fishes. And he does the greatest interruption miracle we can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, not the greatest, but it was great. So it's just so cool. I love it. That is, when I think about that for this holiday season, coming in, Christmas around the corner, yes, it's presents, yes, it's lights and fun and goodness and family and everything else. But there's also stress. There's a lot of stress going on.
Yeah.
We're feeling it, and we have a great life. My wife said that the other day. She goes, I feel like I haven't seen you. And I'm like, yeah. The end of year is trying to get everything finished before I know family's going to hit, the house, and no one's going to be available, and no contractors, and this and that, and for my clients and the closings and you name it. It is this time is chaos and stress. But that's the mindset I hope to keep, is even in that, what are the things that God is doing through this? And where is he playing? I always say that. My wife thought that was weird for a long time, but I've always said that. Where's he playing on his playground? And whatever I'm doing, don't let me miss you, Father. I want to see you. I want to be a part of it. Let me be a part of it. And he never fails.
Well, and even like at the birth of Jesus, right? All of heaven opens up. If you live in and around there, you weren't expecting that to happen.
Right.
You know? And the heavens open up, and we're told that what is shouted from the heavens is glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. And, you know, like, to keep it all in perspective, which is so easy to not do. I mean, I would completely co-sign on that. This can be, you know, we're all sold such a version of fabricated hope, really, and fabricated Christmas time, because it's a huge moneymaker. You know, I'm noticing, I think this past year, before we even hit Halloween, some stores are already playing Christmas music.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so my grandkids, they're going to go into a store after the 4th of July, and it's already going to be, you know, Christmas. You know, I mean, there's just so much money to be made off of that. And then that gives people a false sense of the point, because everything you take in is about being together with family. Well, that's great when you have family. It's not great when you don't have family.
Yeah.
Or it's not great when you've lost a family member, and now that's all you're going to remember, because you get an onslaught of that's what this time is about. That's what we've been taught and sold, and it's a constant thing. I'm supposed to have a Lexus in my driveway with a big bow on it. That's what it's supposed to mean, and you're supposed to find that special somebody, and when it finally snows in Texas is the very moment you kiss. I mean, like, that's everything. And so you are set up for failure, but we can't help but be swept up in it and believe that this time it's going to deliver something different than it did last time. And I think that to be able to recenter our thinking, that part of that idea in Scripture was that there's a fundamental problem between us and God. There's a real problem there. And it's not going to go away on its own, and it's not something we can fabricate or fix. Mm-mm. And Jesus showing up is about how there can be goodwill from heaven to me, not because I deserve it. I don't deserve it. But this was the only way that could ever be repaired. It's the only way it could ever be made right. And the Christmas story, like we're talking about, it's nothing but, for the people on the ground, an endless thread of interruptions and threats and craziness and insanity. And yet in the middle of it is this pure, beautiful, hope-filled thing. So it's interesting that, you know, like, we all live in this time. We're 2,000 years removed, and we're always going to have that battleground in our heart and our minds of how do we settle these practical aspects of our lives and the temporal things in our lives and our career and job. And I think we all deal with that, myself included. You know, if I'm not careful, this time can just become about executing church services.
Yeah.
You know, hitting those points, things you're supposed to say, and then you completely miss the season as well. Right. The fact that I've hung probably, 500 Christmas lights on my house. And,
with hot glue, right?
With hot glue. And it looks really, really cool. But, like, that actually isn't the point. It looks cool, but it's not the point.
Right.
And then, you go through you come down from it when you start peeling it off of your house, because it's over. Right? You gotta
figure out how to get it off.
That's
right?
Another part. That's coming later. And so, like, I think that's to kind of bring it back. Like, it's the most beautiful interruption in human history.
Yeah.
And it's the one interruption meant to interrupt everything else.
Yeah.
And if we'll let it interrupt everything else, it'll be all right.
That's awesome. Man, you wrapped it up with a bow right there. That's perfect. Couldn't have ended any way better than that. And we've got more viewers coming on. So we've got Israel from Puerto Rico who did a shout out. Thank you so much. I love that. if you are just joining us right now, it's a crazy story of a near drowning, and I just love the way Duffy kind of brought it in of what this season truly is about and the greatest interruption of all time. It's really what it is. So it's my prayer that everyone listening now and in the future just has a fantastic and phenomenal ending to their 2025 year, and know that Christ is still in control. God is still in control of everything. And as crazy as our world has gotten, I never thought I'd say that. I used to hear my parents say that all the time. Our world's getting weirder. It's getting crazier. Man, we've full tilted, in my opinion. But we don't need to worry. We don't need to worry. God said, give him that burden. Give him your fears. Give him your stresses. He will take that. And don't miss him this holiday season. Don't miss the family members that need you. The annoyances, the interruptions. Pray beforehand. I'll pray us out too, because that's my prayer. Is before I get annoyed, Lord, keep me from that, and show me what you're doing, and you take over, right? So
yeah.
Anything else before I pray?
No, and I would just say to anybody out there that, this is a time where there's some people really struggle with depression and with loneliness, and I think perhaps even the coolest part of this story is Jesus is in an odd way was born to die, and that's what's really profound is the idea that ultimately death was interrupted. That's how this was supposed to go. It was supposed to put him in the ground and be done with it. The grave was interrupted. That's supposed to be final. It's not supposed to be broken up in 3 days. So there's so much to find joy and peace in that's in him alone. And so those that may be out there that are struggling, that's the point of this season, and not to forget that how much Jesus loves you.
Yeah. Right on. Cool. Well, thank you all for joining us. Second to the last ending of season 4, 2025.
Dude, Puerto Rico.
I know.
4 years.
I love it.
4 seasons. What season are we in? 4?
4. Season 4. First person to
Live?
actually talk with. Well, we had some people through the U.S., which is great. I'm not putting.
I mean, it's okay.
You're
American.
We love
dig
you.
it.
We love you, Arizona, California,
Right.
But yeah, Puerto Rico. To have Puerto Rico actually send us a message while we're on the podcast is just cool. We love it.
We may have to change the background to a Puerto Rican flag.
There you go.
I may have to go to that level. I mean, this is...
They deserve it.
I'm so hyped right now.
I think, matter of fact, I don't know if is POD out there right now. I know they're South America tour right now, so maybe so. So maybe Sonny's going through there. Got the hype man up, right?
Dang, the hype man.
All right. Well, peace out. We got one more for this year. We'll see you on the 31st with an ending season podcast. But we love you guys so much. I'm going to pray us out. Father, we love you so much, and we thank you just for the opportunity to interrupt our lives and hang out with you on these podcasts and just share what you're sharing with us with so many people, and the things that you've instilled in our heart through knowledge and through wisdom and through years of whatever, Lord, our experiences. They're yours, and we thank you that you're using them for a great cause, which is Christ. So as we go into Christmas, Father, I just pray and ask that you be with everyone who is needing you. I pray that people would not miss you. I pray, Father, that that we be open to interruption. Be open to interruption and experiencing the great love that you are. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Peace out. No, POD's not there yet. All right, Israel, 6815. Peace out.
Yeah, right on. Later.